In the headlines, troops rescue 16 abducted in Katsina after 46 days in captivity. Criticisms calls for investigation trails Ningi's suspension as constituents demand fairness. Kano residents lament the price hike, scarcity of water supply in metropolis. Away from Nigeria, Vladimir Putin warns NATO of World War III in post-election speech. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Updates. I am Sumaya Abubakar. The Army troops from Combat Team 3 stationed in Maraban Maigora, Katsina State on Monday rescued about 10 women and 6 minors who had been held captive by bandits since the 3rd of February 2024. Reports said the victims were rescued during a routine patrol at the Rimi community after being held by the hoodlums for 46 days. According to the military, the rescued victims were among the 54 women abducted along the Gamji-Landume Road in early February 2024. Following their rescue, the women and children were promptly handed over to the chairman of Sabwa local government area, who in turn reunited them with their relatives. Confirming the developments, the governor of Katsina State, Diko Rada, in a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary Ibrahim Kaula Muhammad on Monday, commended the troops for their bravery and decisive action. The Trust TV's reporter, Abdullahi Yamadi, joining us via phone call, of course, to give an update on the situation. Good afternoon, Yamadi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So what, details do you have for us? Have you learned from this rescue mission, apart from the ones that, of course, we got?
Well, thank you very much. The number of the wedding guests that were abducted sometime in February was 63 people. But most of them gradually escaped from the bandits, leaving behind 36 only. Now, with this development, 10 have been released after the payment of 12 million naira ransom by the relatives of the captives. And of course, this was confirmed by a resident of Gamji, that is the village where the released victims came from. One Hamisu Rabiu, who is also the media aide to Governor Diko Rada in Sabo local government, who said 12 million naira was paid before the victims were released by the bandits. Of course, the 12 million naira paid was with the intention and, of course, that all the 36 victims are to be released, but they only released 10 out of them. The troops only saw the released victims at a hospital in Gamji village undergoing medical checks while they were on patrol to the area. A resident whom pleaded anonymity was surprised how the troops claimed responsibility of rescuing these 10 people. And already these people have been reunited with their families under the instruction of the Sabo local council chairman. So this is the situation at hand at the moment.
Did you get to meet the families? What were the reactions of the families of these people that were abducted or rescued at the earliest today?
Well, even though these people spent about over 40 days in hands of bandits, the families are extremely very happy, despite the fact that they have paid, they have contributed money to pay ransom to the bandits. But honestly, they are excited, they are happy, but they are calling on the government to, as a matter of urgency, ensure the deployment of security operatives and make them very much vigilant to ensure that the area is secured to avoid a repeat of what happened in February 2024.
Indeed, speaking about, making sure things don't happen again, Katsina has been in the center of insecurity. So right now with this situation, this rescue mission, could it be that this is imposing, a renewed hope that the army, of course, is doing a lot and will do more in terms of securing Katsina State?
Well, it's like you didn't hear me very well. These people were not rescued. They were released based on the ransom paid to them by the residents, by their family members. So it's not a rescue mission. They were not rescued. 12 million was paid to the bandits, the families of the abducted people before they were released. The troops who claimed to have rescued these people only saw them at the hospital while they were undergoing medical checks at Gamji Hospital in the village where they were abducted. So this is exactly what is happening. But people are very much concerned about the insecurity situation in Katsina, even though the state government is doing its best to ensure that people are secured. But yet, I can tell you that very little is being done to secure this state because the military and, of course, the police are doing little or nothing to ensure that this state is secured. I can even tell you that the presence of this community security watch corps is much more to most of these local communities than any other security operative or any other security agency.
Well, thank you so much, for that details. We do hope that, at least or finally at some point, the Kaduna or Katsina State people rather would feel the impact of the Nigerian army troops. Thank you so much, Yamadi, for the update.
We hope so. We hope so very soon. Thank you most sincerely.
Indeed. All right, away from that, still on matters of security, the troops of the 1 Division of the Nigerian Army have successfully rescued about 16 kidnapped victims in Tantatu community of Kajuru local government area in Kaduna State. The victims were rescued following the troops' response to actionable intelligence around 10:30 p.m. on March 17th. Army spokesperson Major General Onyema Nwachukwu made this announcement in a statement issued on Tuesday on March 19th. He stated that troops swiftly tracked the insurgents who had earlier attacked the community in numbers and abducted some of the villagers as hostages. Nwachukwu added, upon reaching the scene of the incident, the troops pursued the insurgents, engaging them in a ferocious exchange of fire and subsequently rescuing 16 kidnapped victims. As the 7-day warning strike by members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, enters its 2nd day on Tuesday, grounding activities at the nation's public ivory towers. The federal government has criticized the action of the non-academic staff, saying that the withdrawal of their services is contrary to the provision of Section 18 of the Trade Dispute Act. The two unions began a 7-day warning strike on Monday over withheld salaries, with workers in registry, bursary, works and maintenance, security and student affairs withdrawing their services. Both SANU and NASU are protesting withheld salaries by the federal government. The two unions berated the federal government for paying withheld salaries to the academic staff union of the universities, that's the ASU, while neglecting the non-academic union. Academic activities were partially disrupted at the nation's premier tertiary institutions, the University of Ibadan, as members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, the SANU, and their affiliate union, the Non-Academic Staff Union of the Universities, NASU, boycotted their duties in compliance to a national directive for them to shut down the tools over the inability of the federal government to meet with a 2009 agreement in reached with the union, amongst other contentious issues. Speaking in Ibadan in separate interviews, the chairman of SANU, Omishore Abiodun Rasaki, and NASU chair Michael Oluwafemi Ogunlade urged the federal government to address all anomalies that had over the years crippled the academic activities.
Who was not? Yes, was right, but then you see that there were still activities as at that point in time. So we are coming to the office. If you were to be on strike, then the university will not move at all. There won't be any research. But then there were researchers. People were conducting research in their various laboratories. People were into community service.
The university is dying. Apart from this test salary of funding, there are many things that is affecting the university. As I'm standing before you, all federal university in Nigeria are lack of council, promotion to Kano. There are many things because most of our things that we are doing in the university, we are having the governing body, which is the council, and since the inception of this the government has scrapped those council up to this moment. We know inadequate.
Members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, the SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, on Monday shut down the main entrance of University of Jos as they embarked on a 7-day warning strike. The members of the unions, who were led by the leadership of their groups, said their actions followed the inability of the federal government to pay their 4-month arrears, adding that they have embarked on the 7-day warning strike in compliance with the directive of their national bodies. The SANU's chairman of the University of Jos, Anthony Joro, while speaking at the main entrance of the university, said they were shutting the gate to register their anger over the non-payment of their arrears.
We started our strike today, being 18th of March 2024. Directive given by our national leadership. So, under the directives, one of it is that we should not give any concession for whatsoever reason. So this is part of it.
Our duty, manning the gates of every institution wherever our work bestow. And in this note, people saw what happened. Tomorrow, nobody will hold the staff of the university for breaking the gates of the university. You all saw it yourself.
It is not the normal kind of strike that we know that every union undertake. Unions undertake a peaceful strike and peaceful demonstration. But what our unions have done today, they have decided to actually come and lock the university gates. I do not think that that is the right thing to do, because there are academic staff, there are students. They more or less seized the government property by locking the gates.
In politics, President Bola Tinubu is optimistic that the All Progressives Congress, the APC, will secure victory in the gubernatorial election in Edo State, which comes up later this year. The president, brimming with confidence, presented the party's flag on Monday to the Edo APC gubernatorial candidate, Senator Monday Okpebolo, at the State House, Abuja. Kende Amadu reports.
As the Edo gubernatorial elections draw nearer, the 3 top political parties in the race in that election are embroiled in crisis. The primaries of all 3 parties, the All Progressives Congress, People's Democratic Party and Labour Party, all produced factions. While the other 2 parties have internal mechanisms to solve their disputes, it is expected that with the president endorsing a candidate, the rancor within the APC will sizzle out. President Tinubu seems confident that victory for the APC in the Edo elections is certain, with the support of the presidency.
There is one very important question to me. If you are happy, we are happy. Are you determined? Are you? If you are, we are determined. We are going to walk with you. We are going to stay with you like Rock of Gibraltar.
The national chairman of the APC re-echoes that confidence, choosing to ignore the disputes that have led up to this event, which include a court case. The APC national chairman points to the unity of purpose within the party as key to achieving victory in the election.
The party is united because they all gave undertaking. They are unanimous. They are coming together to ensure that we win the election. And there are other strategies that we're adopting in order to ensure that we win this election judiciously.
Senator Monday Obepolo and his running mate Dennis Idahosa have been given flags to contest the Edo elections. But beyond this ceremony, a lot of work lies ahead for these two, if they will bring together all aggrieved parties in time for the elections on the 24th of September. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Mixed reactions have continued to trail the controversy around the suspension of Senator Abdul Nengi over claims of irregularities in the 2024 budget. Now, across party lines, residents say the National Assembly has a checkered past with corrupt practice as they call for an investigation to unravel the scandal. Trust TV's Adamu Imam takes a look at the situation.
The recent scandal engulfing the Senate chamber of the National Assembly involving alleged budget padding of over 3 trillion naira in the 2024 budget appropriation by Senator Abdul Nengi, representing the people of Bauchi Central Zone, continues to captivate the minds of many Nigerians. This is especially true with Bauchi State Senator Abdul Nengi's home turf.
They wanted to do something right. They will not listen to Abdul Nengi if they understand that he is trying to bring setback or standing block to their work. If at all, them also they are serious. They wanted to do the right thing. So actually, I can say the Senate, their action is harsh.
Let the senators remember they represent the people of this country, not for their selfish interest. We gave them our mandate to work for us. But Senator Abdul Nengi has done marvelous in this aspect. Even if they are doing wrong, he is bold enough to challenge them for not doing what is right. He is an experienced lawmaker. Let us see other senators from Bauchi and the entire northern senators back him. Saminu Abdullahi from APC and Babangida Mohammed from PDP have expressed their dissatisfaction with the action taken by the Senate leadership on Nengi's case, deeming it as inconclusive and unfair. They believe that corruption has found a permanent place within the National Assembly. For them at the Senate to suspend Abdul Nengi, I think is undemocratic, and if that should be the case, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio should resign from his position with immediate effect. That's my position on this matter, despite being a member of APC in Bauchi.
Is it constitutional for a senator to be suspended? If it is constitutional, where? Because this is completely new to our people. We are not very happy with it. We are not comfortable with it. They should take different measures where they should handle issues like this, or even better than this, or even bigger than this, than the kind of issues they are taking, considering the nature of the way and manner this country is going.
According to some respondents, successive Nigerian governments have always been accused of corrupt tendencies. However, with this development, citizens are expressing uncertainty about whom to trust to represent them in any political office in the future. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
You're watching news updates on Trust TV. Coming up, Kano residents laments price hike and scarcity of water supply in metropolis. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. We brought you troops rescue 16 abducted in Katsina after 46 days in captivity. And criticism calls for investigation trails Ningi's suspension as constituents demand fairness. Moving on to more stories, the residents across the metropolitan area of Kano State are lamenting the incessant water scarcity, especially during the fasting period. Now, Salim Ibrahim reports that water vendors have doubled prices due to the scarcity in some areas. The report.
Areas like Pagi, Kurna, Rijal Lemo, all under Pagi local government area, now buy a 25 litre at the rate of 100 naira to 115 naira. While areas like Karkasara, Hotoro and Taron local government area are facing the same problem. This translates to virtually all local government areas that made up the metropolitan Kano. Speaking of the development, a 15-year-old Amir Usman made fetching water for his family at Karkasara area said they are having challenges getting water for the household.
Honestly, we are suffering here. There is no water in most places and we just have to buy. Sometimes we hire cat polishers to supply water.
Most places that water can be found easily are houses of the privileged members of the society who have dug boreholes in their homes. As such, they filled out a pump or two outside for public consumption. Many have to depend on borehole, which created long queue with many waiting for the water to be released for them to fetch. Khadija Hussein Madaki of Darmanawa area also speaks on the scarcity.
Even water for ablution is difficult to get and public supply is non-existent these days. In the last 8 days, there was no supply. Unlike before, life without water is not complete. One may look dirty on account of water shortage. Water vendors don't sell to us unless you are buying the whole cart. Each jerrycan is sold at 70 naira.
However, the authorities concerned said the development is a temporary one, as it is associated with some of the machines pumping the water, which are under repairs at the moment. Salim Umar Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
Away from Nigeria, Russian President Vladimir Putin says that a direct conflict between Russia and NATO would signify that the planet is one step away from World War III, according to Reuters. This remark was made as Putin claimed a landslide victory in Russia's presidential election with 87.8% of the vote. The US, Germany, the UK and other nations have criticized the election, citing the imprisonment of political opponents and censorship. During his post-election briefing, Putin said it is clear that this would be one step away from a full-scale World War III, pointing out that no one is interested in another world war. Now, the French President Emmanuel Macron previously stated that he could not rule out the possibility of deploying ground troops in Ukraine. Responding to questions about Macron's statement and the risks and possibilities of conflict between Russia and NATO, Putin said everything is possible in the modern world. Putin also added that NATO servicemen were already in Ukraine. A bus carrying students from a top Kenyan university collided with a truck on a busy highway after skidding in heavy rain, killing about 11 of them and injuring 42 others. Police said the accident occurred at 5:50 p.m. on Monday at Maungu, 360 kilometers, about 220 miles from the capital, Nairobi, when the students from Kenyatta University were traveling to the coastal town of Mombasa. 10 people died on the spot and another died later in the hospital. Kenya Red Cross said on X, formerly Twitter, that the injured were taken to a hospital in the nearby town of Voi, the Kenyan Red Cross said. Also, the road accidents are common in the East African nation where the road conditions are often poor and traffic regulations are violated or ignored. In sports, the sportswear giant Nike has officially released the 2024 home and away jersey for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The Super Eagles jerseys were among many national team jerseys revealed in a video shared on Nike's Instagram page on Monday. The Super Eagles will, for the first time in 3 years, wear white and as home jersey and will wear a modern design of green and black as away jersey. While the home jersey is not yet on Nike's website for sales, the away kit is on the sportwear company's website with a price tag of about £124.99, which is over 240,000 naira. According to Nike, the Nigeria 2024 national team away kit celebrates the crossover of football and subculture that brings a unique Niger style to the Super Eagles game. It added that the modern black and green design represents the creative communities that connect across the country whenever the national team takes to the pitch. The Eagles are expected to use the new jersey to prosecute the remaining matches for the 2024 African Cup of Nations and the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. And finally, Team Nigeria's Comfort James is through to the final of the women's 800 meter at the African Games 2023. Running in Heat 3, James came in 4th position, which was enough for her to make her maiden international final. She did it running an equal personal best of 2 hours, 5 minutes, 11 seconds. In the men's category, Hamid Sambo gave finishing in 6th position. Meanwhile, Nigeria's mixed 4x400 meter team ran an initial game record to qualify for the final on Tuesday. And with that, we have come to the end of Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.